Morning. I've just started. It's just gone 5 in the morning. I'm better after I've had a good night's sleep. My eyes are better. So this is where we left off with the lower frame. And what I did was, before I finished off last night, I decided to bend this piece down and put it into the bottom to form like a bumper at the front. That way I could just start afresh this morning with my wheel. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to bring a reference in. I'm going to do a Shift A, image reference. It's in my desktop folder, and what I'm looking for is wheel, that one. Scale that down, down, like that, a bit more. I think that's not a bad size for my cart. Give it some nice decent sized wheels. What I'm going to do, in fact, hang on, grab that on the Y, take it back a bit, let's come back to 1, and I just want this for sizing, so I'll do a Shift A, mesh, and a cylinder. I'll leave this at the standard 32 Hertz. Normally, if you're making it for a game, you drop this down to say between 16, 22, something like that. You can go as low as 12, but you want to try and keep it smooth, because that's how it, if you drop it down any lower, go down to 10.98, you get in the jagged then. So let's scale that down, scale it down, we'll go back to 1, RX 90 to face it towards me. You can see that image is not exactly in centre, so I'm going to grab that, grab it, no, I'll leave it where it is because it'll throw it out if I don't. Scale it on the Y, bring it right in like that, grab it on the Y, bring it forward, 1, and now let's scale it out a bit more. Try and match the size of that tyre, that picture I'm in. I'll grab that a little bit, grab it on the Z, just bring it up. There. Alt Z on the keyboard goes into X-ray mode, and that's looking alright. Alt Z comes out of X-ray mode. So scale that on the Y. RZ 90. And you can see it's a very thin tyre, so I don't need that image now, so grab that on the X and drag it out of the way. I'll grab that on the X, drag that over a little bit, and do a Control A, all transform, set origin to 3D cursor. In fact, I should have removed the faces first before I did that. I'm going to grab that X, faces, X, faces. Now I'll do it again. Control A, all transform, set origin to geometry. Now I'm going to add a mirror. So I'll come down to my spanner or the wrench, and I'll do a mirror, which my mirror is not appearing for some reason. Let's do a Shift S, cursor to world origin, Control A, all transform, set origin to geometry. Set origin, I should say, well I can't talk this morning. I've been up long if you can't guess. Origin to 3D cursor. I'll grab that edge, make sure clipping's on, and grab it on the X and pull it into that one. Grab that edge, grab it on the X and bring it over like that, because we're going to extrude this tyre out. So I'll do EX, and I want to try and keep these polygons the same size. EX, but this time at this extrusion I'm going to scale it in a little tiny bit like that, and I'm going to start making the curve of the tyre. So I'll do EX, scale it in again, EX, bring it out again, scale it in. That's a little bit too far, I think, so grab that on the X, bring it back a fraction and scale it out a bit. What you're looking for is when you tab out and you do a right click, shade, auto smooth, you've got that smoothness to it. Now I'll rotate that on the Z 90 degrees. No, I won't. I'll leave it where it is and I'll go into side view. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to make the bulge on the side of the tyre. So I'm going to grab that edge there, I'm going to ES, bring it in like that, just a minute, Control Z, I'll grab the edge loop, grab the edges, that's it, ES, scale it in, something like that, go back to 1 and grab it on the X, you hold down the shift and bring it out very, no I'm going the wrong way, or am I? Yeah, outwards, grab it on the X, bring it outwards, a little bit like that, now I'll do another ES, scale that in again, about the same, and this one I'll do a E, no, not an extrude, yeah, grab it on the X and take it in a little bit like that. We're looking for that slight bulge on the side of the tyre. So come back to side view. Now I'll scale that in. No, extrude it and scale it into there, something like that. I'll grab that on the X, take that in a little bit like that, because now if you look now we've got the bulge there and we're forming the inner part of the tyre now, so now I'm going to work on the hub. So I'll keep this reference image here and I'll work off that one. So I'll do a P and separate that edge loop. So if I hide the tyre, you can see I've just got the edge now. Grab that A, and I'm going to do this little rim on the outside first, so I'll do ES, scale it in, just a fraction like that, and that's not scaling in evenly. Why ain't it bringing it in nice and even? A, ES, oops, A, ES, that's better. Right, that's coming a little bit now. Now I'm going to do EX and take it into the tyre. So look at this image. I'll do ES, scale it in again. EX and bring it out a little bit. I'm not an expert on cars, so I'm just playing it by guess this wheel. So I do a ES, scale it in, I'll scale it a bit more. I'm trying to make this rim here, so ES, scale it in, EX, bring that in, and then I'll just E and scale it into the center then. Just a minute. Grab it on the X. Grab it on the X. Come on, respond this morning. ES and bring it into the centre like that. And I might put a little tiny hub in the centre, so I'll do EX and bring it back out like that to there. That's alright. The more of these you've got and the bevels and that, it will stand out better when we come to shade it. I might even put some pieces in to wrap it around to give it some fancy trim. So if we take that back out now, bring the tyre back. See, that's the first part of our wheel done, but now I want this to fit perfectly. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tab into it, A, grab it on the X, and I'm going to bring it out a little tiny bit like that, just so I can see down the back of it, and all this will stand out in the shadowing. Grab that edge, EX, and take it, oops, grab the wrong one, tab out. I'll grab that one, EX, and bring it back into the tyre, and I'll just scale that out a little bit and make sure that it's into the tyre. Just let me make sure I ain't got any duplicate faces now we're clicking on that. If you ever click on a face and it's got a shimmer, then you've got another face on top of it. And if you ever get double faces, click A, highlight everything, merge, and by distance, and that will merge all the vertices that are closest together. So I'll save that. That's the outer rim of my wheel done. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to bevel it. Yeah, I'll bevel it while I'm here. Add a modifier, and we'll add a bevel like that. Take that down, and I'll bring it back up to something like 0.005, and you can see if you tab into it now, it's added a very slight bevel on the edges, and that's all we want. Oops, I've gone too far with that. 0.005. Click next to 0, that's better. You can see we've got a bevel on the edge now, and that's what we want. It should be on the other side the same. I think what I'll do is I'll apply that now. Tab out, because you can't apply a modifier in edit mode. And there's the rim of my wheel. Yeah, that's not looking too bad actually. Right click, shade auto smooth. That's what I'm looking for. What I'll do is I'll mark the seams while I've got it here. So I'll click on that one and that one. The reason why we mark seams is when we come to unwrap it, think of it like a tin of beans. Oh, and I'll have to save my beans analogy for the next one because my alarm's just gone off. So I will be back in the next video where I will continue explaining about unwrapping. So thank you for watching, and I'll be right back.